Race 2 of the BMW IBSF two-man bobsleigh World Cup, and after a 9-year break we return to Park City. Hansi Lochner in the top 5 after the first of 2 runs on the 2002 Winter Olympic track, 32 hundredths out of the lead. Brakeman Florian Bauer has never been off a World Cup podium in any race he started with Hansi. Would that be the case here? He'd need to pick up a couple of spots to do so. First thing was to defeat Simon Friedli, the Swiss driver, with a good second run. Found 14 hundredths of a second improvement over his first trip down the ice. Hansi started quickly and he found an extra beast of speed at the bottom to take the lead. Next up, Christoph Hafer of Germany. Like teammate Lochner, he's never raced a 2-man sled here. Unlike Lochner, he's not even raced a 4-man sled here. So in unfamiliar territory, with just half a dozen training runs in both sleds to dial himself in to a track that's very different in nature to Whistler last week. Hafer fell behind from the start and never really recovered his composure. He got close, but not close enough. And by the end of the run, it was clear that Lochner would lead them with 3 sleds remaining. Could Hansi's podium streak in 2-man continue? In the top 3, and Francesco Friedrich, not the last man out of the shed, the third last, because in the first heat he'd been 15 hundredths off the lead, and not even in second place. But a big start from he and brakeman Torsten Margis, and a much improved second run from Francesco Friedrich. Trying to break the track record set by Christoph Langen in the 2002 Olympics will have to wait for yet another season. But for Friedrich, who's never won in the World Cup on this track on 2 previous occurrences, both of which saw American sleds 1-2 in front of him, this was a stellar performance. And he was the clear leader at the line, laying down the gauntlet to his rivals. First of whom, second after the first heat, and with 9 hundredths of a second in hand, was Michael Vogt with Sandro Michel. They'd outstarted Friedrich and Margis by 100th in the first heat, lost 100th in the second, but it was worse than that. They did not have the velocity early on in the run, and it was clear from then on that the Swiss sled would need to generate epic speed further down the track. But a skid early in the labyrinth also put a nail in their coffin. And by the time they got to the line, Friedrich was the clear leader with Vogt in the second place and 1 sled to go. Well, Michael Vogt guaranteed at least a bronze medal, but what about Team GB? Brad Hall and Taylor Lawrence. Lawrence, the newly announced Royal Navy Sportsperson of the Year, helping Brad to another big start, outstarting Friedrich and Margis in both heats and outdriving Friedrich in the first, but a skid up the top of the track saw that advantage gradually ebbing away. In a customer sled rather than the German factory-built FES, Brad Hall saw the lead slip from his grasp lower down in the track. And for the second week in a row, he claims silver as Francesco Friedrich rallies from third in the first heat to take the gold. His first win on this track since becoming junior world champion in 2011. Friedrich victorious, Brad Hall and Michael Vogt in the medals.
Hey, second, not so bad.
Not bad at all. And Brad Hall remains second in the World Cup rankings after 2 rounds. Francesco Friedrich with the perfect score.